Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art of Davi YouTube channel. And today we'll be checking out the work of Rael Lyra. He's a concept designer, character designer based in Brazil, or he's Brazilian. And he reminds me of a bit of a couple of artists that I think I've reviewed in this channel, like Faraz Shanyar, Hugo Richard, who's also Brazilian, and many others. And I will link all of the similar artists in the description below, so check those out. But today we'll be checking out the work of Rael Lyra again. Well, not again, but I think I found this piece, like this yellow. Let's just find a different. There you go. I found this specific piece. I remember seeing this first in Pinterest, and it took me a while to actually find out who the artist was, because oftentimes when things are repinned or shared often, like the image does get smaller and smaller, so the actual name or signature does kind of disappear, and sometimes it's not really understandable for the most part, so that can suck. But the point is, I really like the way, like, the diversity in his work. You know, I got this recent comment from one of my art review videos, and sometimes you'll see portfolios where it's very focused on the female figure, or it's just female characters and such, and there's kind of a lack of diverse. There's no men, there's no different body types, and I know I know why people can get annoyed with that, but first of all, people will draw what they want to draw, or they want to what they enjoy doing. So there's that, but also you have to think of sellability. Is that a word? Of sales. Like, will fat people that seems so mean, but I mean, for example, I'm kind of a skinny fat, right? I'm skinny, but I do have kind of a belly because of my inactive lifestyle. Like, am I the most appealing kind of person? You know what I mean? Like, there are certain things that just get more attention, and it's going to be women for the most part, and that's okay. And when it comes to men, they're never going to be like these types where it's kind of like where they're old, or where they're kind of like monsters. It's usually going to be a feminine looking guy who's kind of hot, pretty, tall. You know what I mean? So I think it's okay. We should understand that there are things that just get more attention, and that's why people tend to do them. And people tend to enjoy certain things more, so there's that. Now, when it comes to the work of Rael Lyra, he's so everywhere, or what I mean by that is he doesn't have like a focus per se. I mean, he does a lot of drawings, and yeah, he does color them. So I think he's more of a draftsman first before a painter, because he still likes to leave in the line work, whether they're pencil or pen, in his final work. So there's that. But what he draws, it's so interesting because it's very conceptual sometimes. Sometimes it's very specific. I mean, look at this. I like how the original line marks kind of seep through and make it to the final illustration. Although it's hard to see the pencil work or the pen work, although you will see by the way the shapes are done how one thing kind of separates from the other. Like, there is kind of a separation in terms of line. Like, it's not necessarily a painted piece, it's a colored piece, because you can see like the lines in between. And you'll see this a lot where it's not rendered per se, but the way it's colored, it's so vivid. Is that the word? It's so this one's more simple, a simple sketch, but yeah. Fred Rambaud is also another artist that's similar to Rael Lyra. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I will link also an interview in English of this artist down below, and I like how he was asked by this the interviewer about his style, like how did this style or his drawing skills came to be, and he mentioned how it's similar to your signature or your handwriting, where you sort of have to accept your limitations. I mean, you can try and improve like your line work and stuff like that, but A lot of it is accepting just what comes out. And maybe, yeah, you'll improve things as you go, but I like how he emphasized there for a bit the limitations part. Like, just understand that you won't be like other people. So just kind of like writing, just write what you want to write and draw what you want to draw. And what comes out, comes out. I mean, there's more to it, so I recommend you watch the full interview, but I wasn't able to watch all of the full video, but I thought that was a good kind of the kind of acceptance, I think, is because we tend to, especially if you're, it's not always a beginner thing. Sometimes you're kind of insecure about your style, like whenever someone gets more following or has a higher following than you or is more influential or has better artwork, basically, you start to assume that maybe it's because your style is shit. Maybe it is, but I think we need to focus more on, as artists, as creatives, acceptance that we're not going to be like them. You know, we have to focus on being us. We can enjoy their work, be inspired, but let's focus on what we want to focus. Now, this one seems more painted. I mean, obviously it's drawn first, but there's a bit more rendering involved. And as you can see, it's more focused on character design. Like the grayscale types of illustrations, they remind me of Faraz Shanyar. He's an Iranian artist, and he likes to do a lot of grayscale stuff too. Yeah, this one's more of a... He's not really an environment guy, I would say, Rael Lyra. These two pieces may be my favorite ones. This is back in, what, 2017, right? Look at the jazzmanship here. It's, even the pen work, it's not really that, like, tight. But it's sculpted. Like, it feels sculpted and developed. This one definitely is my most favorite piece of his. It just looks good. The way the lines were drawn, it's sort of loose, but you know what it means. It's not like super sketchy, and it's not super tight as well, like a finished thing. But when you look at it, like it like you're supposed to look at it. Like it commands respect. Oh shit! Right? So her head is basically like attached to this machine, kind of like this pig. Very eerie sometimes it can be. I sounded like Yoda there. Anyway, so Policia. So I do also see a variation of style from him. This one's a bit more simplified, but I'm assuming this is how the average Brazilian looks like. Anyway, yeah. Again, you can definitely see the design behind stuff or his work. Like he thinks about it. And even when it's painted, like the lines do show somehow. Even if you don't actually see the lines, it just seems more like the edges are clear. This one's more of a sketches. So it's not just the actual. It's not just the like the style or the way it's colored or the tools used. It's also the concept. Like it's so weird. Not in a bad way. Like it's almost dreamlike and fantastical. Even if it's like a sci-fi piece, like zombies and stuff like that, it seems like a whole different world that you'd want to explore. This one does remind me a bit of a Milan Nikolic. I did an art review of his work as well. Like these types of mechy creature types of stuff. So I will link his work too in the description below. And so I will link this page, and obviously his Instagram page is also more. I think his Instagram is a bit more updated. I think these are my two favorites again. Where is it? These two, the red one, the pig red, and the yellow chick. It just looks nice, you know? And most of his work is done with a white background. A nice piece here of his like sketchbook, so that's cool. The most of his more finished or presented work portfolio pieces are done digitally. And again, if you look at his sketchbooks, he's definitely a draftsman first before painter. Like even the way he does the faces, like he'll leave the lines in and it kind of becomes part of the it remains like often you would maybe want to clean it, but he kind of just owns it, and that's what I like about his work. Like all the organic kind of forms within the figure, those edges or the edges of those forms, he leaves them in, and it kind of adds to the texture or the the texture of the form, whatever that form is. I do see a lot of like sketchbook stuff here, so this guy definitely is putting in the work. So it's kind of like Kim Jong-ki, like he does a lot of these sketches too. So it shows you that you do have to put in the time, the effort. And yeah, this one again does remind me of Faraz. Like the lines and the shapes, they're a bit more swoopy. They're not very angular, but they're not circular as well. It's sort of a balance of the two with a slight lean on a curvier type of a look. Again here, you could leave it like the lines, like even within the form, like the lines are left in. Again, this is Instagram, so the photos are going to suck asshole. Excuse my tongue. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, you can still see the pencil sketches or the line strokes left in, even in the coloring stage, and it just adds more of a like grit without using texture brushes. I think adding in those pencil or pen strokes, they can help add that texture without having to rely on texture brushes. Look at this! It's like just offering me a pen to keep drawing, right? Ooh. Look at this piece. It's the full thing. Look at how nice it is. Look at how why does it look so good? Look at how it's not even colored. There's hardly any shadows here. Maybe a bit in the back, but that's it. And yet it's so captivating. It makes you just want to keep looking. And look at the, again, if you're the sketchy type, try to just be more deliberate with your strokes. And even if the line quality is, let me find a zoomed version of it. Even if it's not tight, because sometimes if you think you're too sketchy, you'll start to assume that you need to be super tight, and the answer is no. If it's just like this, even if it's kind of shaky, just a tad bit, all in all, if you zoom out, it's going to look freaking amazing. If you want a more diverse portfolio, or if you're trying to diversify your portfolio, whether it be your style, like using pens, pencils, coloring them, or maybe subject matter, like not just doing chicks and stuff, I recommend checking out the work of Rael Lyra because he has so much stuff. Mainly focused also definitely on character design, but it's very some pieces are very conceptual, some are more finished. I think these are older works of his. Yeah. But I think his work is going to be inspiring, definitely. And yeah. So that's it for this art review of Rael Lyra. I do recommend you check him on Instagram. I don't think he has an art station. He does have a Twitter, but there's not much in it. Maybe some recent stuff, portfolio stuff, but that's it. So that's it for this art review of Rael Lyra. I'll see you in the this is I like this one. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.